A nation-divided riots erupt at asylum centres and mosques. Britain finds itself at a crossroads. Riots have shaken the nation, exposing deep-seated divisions. Asylum centres, meant to be safe havens, have become targets of violence. Mosques, places of worship, have been attacked. These acts of aggression highlight the rising tide of xenophobia. The riots are a symptom of a larger societal malaise. The far right has exploited these anxieties, scapegoating immigrants. The government's response has further fueled discontent. It calls for a unified effort to combat hate and build a more inclusive society. It is time for Britain to build a future where everyone feels safe, respected, and valued. Asylum hotels and mosques under attack. Riots expose the vulnerability of asylum seekers and Muslims. Asylum hotels housing those fleeing war face violence. These attacks assault human dignity and compassion. Mosques, community centers are also targets of hate. Vandalism aims to intimidate and instill fear. These acts attack religious freedom and safety. We must challenge these dangerous narratives, stand in solidarity to create a safe society. The rise of the far right is fanning the flames of xenophobia. These groups exploit economic anxieties and social divisions. Social media has become a powerful tool for spreading their propaganda. Online platforms often go unchecked, normalizing xenophobia. The far right's tactics prey on fears, offering simplistic solutions. Their rhetoric has real-world consequences, as seen in recent violence. Confronting the far right requires a multi-pronged approach. A nation divided. The government's response under scrutiny. The government's response to the recent unrest has been met with mixed reactions. While some praise the increased security measures and condemnation of violence, others criticize the government for not doing enough to address the root causes of xenophobia. Critics argue that the government's rhetoric on immigration, often focusing on reducing numbers and tightening borders, has contributed to a climate of hostility and fear. There are calls for a more comprehensive approach, one that goes beyond law enforcement and addresses the underlying social and economic factors fueling xenophobia. This includes investing in education and integration programs, promoting intercultural dialogue, and challenging discrimination in all its forms. The government has a responsibility to protect all its citizens, regardless of their background or immigration status. This includes ensuring the safety of asylum seekers and minority communities, as well as addressing the concerns of those who feel left behind by globalization and economic change. A divided nation cannot stand. The government must lead the way in building a more cohesive and inclusive society. Economic anxieties, breeding ground for scapegoating and division. The recent unrest in the UK cannot be divorced from the economic realities facing many Britons. Years of austerity, stagnant wages, and rising living costs have created a sense of anxiety and insecurity. In such a climate, it is all too easy for far-right groups to exploit these anxieties, scapegoating immigrants and minorities for the nation's economic woes. The truth, of course, is far more complex. Immigration is a complex issue with both benefits and challenges. To reduce it to a simple equation of immigrants taking jobs and resources is not only inaccurate, but also dangerous. It ignores the contributions that immigrants make to the UK economy and society. Addressing economic anxieties is crucial to combating xenophobia. This requires investing in public services, creating jobs, and ensuring that the benefits of economic growth are shared more equitably. When people feel secure and hopeful about their future, they are less likely to be swayed by the siren song of hate and division. A nation divided, a history marred by immigration and xenophobia. To understand the present, we must confront the past. The UK has a long and complex history of immigration, with waves of newcomers shaping the nation's social, cultural, and economic landscape. However, this history is also marked by periods of xenophobia and anti-immigrant sentiment, often fueled by economic uncertainty, political opportunism, and social anxieties. From the arrival of Irish immigrants in the 19th century to the influx of Caribbean and South Asian migrants after World War II, each wave of immigration has been met with varying degrees of acceptance and resistance. The current climate of xenophobia is not new. It is a recurring theme in British history, a reminder of the challenges of integration and the persistence of prejudice. Understanding this history is crucial to developing effective solutions for the present. We must learn from past mistakes and avoid repeating them. We must acknowledge the contributions of immigrants throughout British history and challenge the narratives that seek to demonize and exclude them. Only then can we build a future where diversity is celebrated and everyone feels a sense of belonging. Bridging the divide, the urgent need for social cohesion. The recent unrest is a stark reminder of the fragility of social cohesion. When different communities live in isolation from each other, it is easier for suspicion and mistrust to take root. Building a more cohesive society requires active effort, a willingness to reach across divides and build bridges of understanding. This means creating more opportunities for people from different backgrounds to interact with each other, whether through shared activities, community projects, or simply by getting to know their neighbors. It means challenging stereotypes and prejudices wherever they arise, whether in casual conversation or in the media. Social cohesion is not about erasing differences or forcing everyone into a single mold. It's about recognizing and valuing our diversity while building a shared sense of belonging. It is about creating a society where everyone feels safe, respected, and valued regardless of their background. Education, the cornerstone of a more inclusive future. Education has a vital role to play in combating xenophobia and promoting social cohesion. By equipping young people with the knowledge, skills, and values they need to navigate a diverse and interconnected world, we can help create a more tolerant and inclusive future. This means teaching about different cultures and religions, promoting critical thinking skills to challenge stereotypes and misinformation, and fostering empathy and understanding. It also means ensuring that schools are inclusive spaces where all students feel safe, respected, and valued. Education is not a quick fix. It is a long-term investment that requires sustained effort and commitment. However, it is an investment that is essential if we are to break down the cycles of prejudice and discrimination that continue to plague our society. Challenging hate speech, a collective responsibility. Words have power. They can incite violence, spread hatred, and dehumanize entire communities. Challenging hate speech, whether online or offline, is not about stifling free speech. It is about creating a society where everyone feels safe and respected. This requires a multi-pronged approach. Social media companies must take responsibility for the content shared on their platforms, taking steps to remove hate speech and prevent the spread of misinformation. Law enforcement agencies must be equipped to investigate and prosecute hate crimes. However, the most powerful tool against hate speech is often our own voices. We must be willing to speak up when we encounter prejudice and discrimination, to challenge stereotypes and misinformation, and to stand in solidarity with those who are targeted. Silence is not an option. We must all be part of the solution. Investing in our future. Addressing economic inequality. Addressing economic inequality is not just a matter of social justice, it is also crucial to combating xenophobia. When people feel economically insecure, they are more susceptible to the scapegoating rhetoric of the far right. Investing in our communities, creating jobs, and ensuring that everyone has a fair shot at a decent life is not just good economics, it is essential for social cohesion. This means investing in public services such as education, healthcare, and affordable housing. It means supporting small businesses and creating opportunities for entrepreneurship. It means ensuring that the benefits of economic growth are shared more equitably so that everyone has the chance to succeed. Addressing economic inequality is not a quick fix. It requires sustained effort and commitment from government, businesses, and civil society. However, it is an investment that will pay dividends in the long run, creating a more just, equitable, and cohesive society for all. Building a more inclusive Britain, a call to action. The recent unrest in the UK is a wake-up call. It is a stark reminder of the dangers of xenophobia and the fragility of social cohesion. However, it is not a time for despair. It is a time for action. We must channel our anger and frustration into building a more inclusive and equitable society for all. This requires a collective effort. We must challenge hate speech and discrimination wherever we encounter them. We must reach across divides and build bridges of understanding. We must demand that our leaders prioritize social cohesion and invest in our communities. The task ahead is not easy, but we cannot afford to be complacent. The future of our nation depends on our ability to come together and build a society where everyone feels safe, respected, and valued. We must choose hope over fear, unity over division, and action over apathy. Let us build a Britain that we can all be proud of, a Britain that reflects the best of who we are.
So hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and let's turn the page on a new adventure together. Get ready to experience books like never before, only on VBook 360. Like, comment, and share to support the channel and keep the video magic alive. Thank you for stopping by. And remember, every video has a story, and every story deserves to be shared. See you in the next video.